Hey, here we are. I think here we are. It says here we are. I don't see me here yet. There we are. Now we're live. It was misbehaving and telling me I wasn't live. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, no. And then I have an echo. Let's turn off the echo. That'll fix that. Hey, good morning. So I see you guys. So we talked about this on the. Hey, I'm John, of course. This is not my daily vlog. This is the first ever Pleepcast. And yeah, we talked about this leading up to the 100K. And I wanted to follow through on that. I thought it was a great idea and maybe something, we might do periodically on occasion. Um, First, by the way, it feels really weird to be streaming here because on the vlog, I feel more relaxed and more calm and more open, and as opposed to hey everybody, it's YouTube, it's that thing. So it's very kind of comforting, actually. I see some folks here. I see we have Calvin and Crypto. Eliminator made it. Ted, look what look at all the folks that are here for this. Yeah, it's not Memorex. Yeah, it's genuinely live. Eliminator. Yeah. So yeah, really, I just wanted to have this opportunity to, as we talked about, to sit down and chat and talk about in real time a Q&A about anything up to this point, really. I mean, probably more probatively the 100K that just hit. But yeah, whatever you have in mind. Yeah, Pleepcast just came to me when I was making a thumbnail. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Jeremiah said he always amazed. You click on it, there's a bunch of comments. That's a sign of a strong community, is what that is. Folks are already there. They're not waiting for me to talk. They're talking amongst themselves. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. I think that's really a healthy sign. I see Orion. Did you guys see Orion's picture I posted on social yesterday? He had a picture watching the live as it rolled over, like at 999, and then when it rolled over and his face changed. It was really cool. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. That was fun to be able to share out instead of just we made it, to show other folks celebrating with us. Thank you for that, Cam. Here's Kat popping in. Hey, bro, fellow peeps. Can't stay. Lunch break is ending. Yep. Happy to see you pop in. Yeah. So, yeah, I like a lot of people saying popping in and out. I see Rick who's saying that only have a few seconds before the doc calls me back. I gotcha. Yep. And Crypto said he's cracking a cold one being pineapple water. So I see well, one more Scrutable Owl is just saying hi. And then I see the first question that we can talk about. So I see you, Calvin, though. So you're asking any My Arcade news. Um, well, interestingly, today I'm working on a My Arcade thing. The ball top Galaga joystick player. Remember they came out with the flight yoke one? Well, the ball top was floating around out there, but um, they shipped me one months ago and said, "Don't review it yet." I'm like, and now I know why. The why is because they were trying to flush out inventory of the others, right? They sent me that, but I was just sitting on it, and it was on my set, and people saw it, and people started to accidentally get it. Anyway, it's now available to order, and the other ones there is marked down. So I'm going to do a video today about My Arcade. Outside of that, um, I don't have any new news right now that I can share, but I mean, I do talk with them on occasion, and definitely progress is being made on all the new stuff. And so, I mean, we know it's going to get Q3, Q4, and it's going to be back to the My Arcade channel again, right? So it's going to be a bunch, a bunch. Let's see. Let me catch up. Orion, so I had a question. Did you rest well last night after a day of full mental exercise? Yeah, I did. Thanks. It was as I talk about in the vlog this morning. I don't know if you watched or have a chance to watch, but I talked about, and I was talking to, I see Marcus is here. I was mentioning with him in chat a little bit how I had this cognitive dissonance yesterday, and that was more exhausting than anything else. I mean, the logistics around this live, that sort of thing. Cameron, we know how to handle, multitask productions. That's not a big deal. It was that I was both the organizer and the talent for it, Rick, and there's also the emotional component. So it was exhausting. All those things together were pretty exhausting. So yeah, I crashed pretty hard. Though I woke up early this morning, which is nice. Yeah, and so Marcus, hey, I see him, Marcus. He's asking what is happening right now. We spoke about this a few times on the vlog. I know you've been very busy, you probably haven't a chance to keep up, but we talked about having just our own get together and chat um, after the 100,000 hit and the smoke cleared, just to talk amongst ourselves. Kind of a calm, low key, not a on kind of thing, but for pleeps like yourself. So we want to make good on that and have that. That's not true, Jeremiah. I'm not updating you on basic programming hunt. The hunt is going fine. I've not pulled the trigger on one yet, though. So, yeah, I saw the Switch 2 rolling around. Yeah. Paul. Do you have an inside line on a Retro Games Play On will be released next? Yes. I've been speaking with my friend at Play On, and I've seen some prototype images, and I can't wait to be able to share them. But yeah, I don't have a date. Honestly, I'm really just playing the waiting game. Every couple of weeks, I'll ping him and go, "How is this going?" And he'll send me a new cool image. So yeah, yeah, yeah. As far Michael's asking, is the My Arcade stuff on schedule? As far as I know, yeah. I don't know of anything canceled. I don't know of anything delayed. As we mentioned, prices are liable to change from the initial quoted price since the tariffs have impacted since they announced prices. In fact, I've seen a price list, and a few things are, you know, between $5 and $20 more than they were initially estimated, but on schedule as far as I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Cameron Orion is saying the emotions will drain you. Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it's a different kind of tired than a. It was coincidental that this all happened on the Memorial Day weekend when. So Orion is my friend Cameron. He and I worked together for years in broadcasting, and he was subject to that. The weekend long all nighters of the MDA telethon that happens on that same weekend. It's a different kind of tired though, because that's almost a buzz high of getting the stuff done. But I wasn't the topic of the telethon. When we were doing it, I was producing it, so it was very different. So it's the emotional part of it. I think it was what caused uh, the exhaustion, and I crashed pretty hard. Yeah, I fell asleep. Very often I got in the habit when I was on the road of I have some little non-habit forming Z-Quil pills that I'll take most nights to help me come down, and I didn't. I didn't take those because I didn't stop moving until 9:30 or 10, but I was still plenty tired. So it goes to tell you. So let me see. Roll on down here. So I see another question. Hey Thanos, I see you. Good morning. Uh, I had no idea who would show up for this, or if they could show up, or just happy that anybody is here. This is just for us. It's not a big giant outward world thing, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Jeremiah says, "Do you know the 5 plus line games being announced this summer?" I do not. I have not heard. No, no. Although I expect we're probably going to hear pretty quickly. Yeah, Jeremiah. And Michael's asking any word on Atari in regards to releasing in a television console. I have not heard anything from Atari since I spoke to them at the Midwest Gaming Classic. That feels like an evasive question. Hey Tom, thank you for that. that's it's that thing I was talking about in the vlog this morning. Like I don't know where to fall. So many comments like this were hitting everything everywhere, and I don't know where to fall between hell yeah or why thank you. You know, like where is it? Where are you? and the metric is different from everyone, and what is being braggadocious and what is being celebratory, what is being, you know, yeah, it's none of that to grateful for your congratulations, of course, and your kindness, Tom, but it was I don't take those well in a flood, I guess. I, I'm just- which is weird. Like I put myself in the center of attention to get attention, and then when people say good job, I'm like, oh no no, it's mental. I don't know. Orion says, did other creators reach out to you yesterday after 100K? A couple, and you know what? I almost said none that I don't regularly speak with, but that's not true. I saw some other creators that I know and have spoken with very briefly. Nobody I've never had contact with, right? But of course, I heard from MC Murr and Silver Blue, and Metal Jesus Rocks had a nice comment he posted in the studio thing. Um, yeah, but I mean, just like I mean, they're all on their grind. So, I don't know that I make a blip on them unless they're super fans. Like, MC Murr is, we've been friends for a long time since I started this. I first met him here on YouTube. So, he very kindly reached out and I talked to him a little bit about it yesterday. So, yeah, 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 I know. Talking about our TV days, Rick is here saying I missed that high from getting a remote done. Yeah, the po- one of the things I loved about television production is you don't take it home. You know, it can be the busiest, most chaotic, 14 live shots, videos just coming in. Oh my God, let's float this, float this. But when the show is over, it's nothing. There's no like, well, tomorrow we'll get after that show again. It's done. It's done. And so I had some of that yesterday. You could end up stop going live, and it's like it's over. You know, so I like that feeling because you get that. I always likened it to there's nothing quite in production like the train going around the corner at top speed up on, you know, one set of wheels off of the track and it's just barely surviving and it lands and doesn't fall. Like an out of control train that doesn't wreck is way more fun than just a smooth train. And not that yesterday was out of control, but no feeling like the credits rolling. Exactly, Tom. Yeah, you also get it. Yep, yep, yep. Da, da, da. Let's see. Robert is here. Says, sorry I'm late. We didn't take attendance yet. You're okay. Yeah. Glad I popped in briefly on Twitch. Yeah, yeah. I was live so much yesterday, not to mention the round the clock live thing. I think a lot of, I hope, I think a lot of people were exposed to and got an appreciation for our podcast because it was playing as the audio on that round the clock stream. I saw a lot of viewers would stick around and comment on what they were listening to, and I hope that means an uptick for the podcast. It could certainly use it. Excuse me. Hmm. Do. Tom is commenting about what we were just talking about. Nothing wrong with being proud of that milestone. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I mean, that's it. But I'm always being the shy nerd. I'm not one to peacock around when something goes well. I just rather let the actions stand for themselves. They go, look what I did, everybody. I'm rather just, I do it and you look at it, and I'm not going to talk about it. You appreciate it or not, which is why I'm not a good self promoter. I think for that same reason. Yeah. Let's see. I see you, Ted. Let's see. Ted is asking. Um, and I'm not vetting these, so you could ask the most heinous question ever. I'm just popping it up. Not that you guys would. How much do you think the promotions you tried in the last year help or not so much? Oh, yeah. They're tremendous help, and they continue to be. We continue to run them. We have a small advertising budget that we spread across multiple videos, and it's tremendous help. And I like it because it's organic growth. I'm sorry, I guess it's pseudo organic growth. Organic would just be leave it alone and see what happens, see what grows, right? Uh, but uh, you know, from George's business background, we talked about how advertising is a cost of doing business, and if you want to accelerate revenue and everything and interest, so we have a small budget each month that we spread across some videos. Um, and it's you can see the results. You can see how much exposure. They call them what do they call them? Impressions. Impressions. So how many times the video was shown to somebody, how many times they clicked on it, and more importantly, it's literally just like a way to shove yourself to the front of the recommendation engine. And so if somebody sees it, they might not have otherwise seen it. They click on it, and then subscribers come out of that. Um, and I have not seen a dramatic growth in, like you've seen over the months, in sustained viewership increase that is commensurate with the subscribers. I would like to see that. Don't know what cracking that nut yet. I don't know. But also, as you noticed throughout the last few, well, if you watched any of the live ticker over the last few days, it's not just a up, right? It's up a couple, down one, up three, down one, up five, down two. Um, and that's very natural. I like seeing unsubscribes, which sounds silly, but if you unsubscribe, it means I'm not interested. So I don't need a number of uninterested people. That doesn't give us anything. Ideally, what you want is every single subscriber watching every single video. Well, that's like zero defects. You want that. Doesn't mean you're going to get that, but um, I think you want to apply that advertising to get as many quality subscribers, by which I mean people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing. So, Ted, it's been a huge help, and we've continued. It's not stopped. We continue to advertise every month a little bit. Oh, Doc is Collins. You got to go. All right, Rick. I see you. Um, let's see. Yeah, Thomas talking about the TV experience. Yeah, on air light goes on again. Last show doesn't matter. Yep, fresh start. Fresh start. Hey, Muse, Muse, am I saying that? Mizuno boy, got it. Yeah, 100,000 is the moon, maybe 1 million is Mars. Yeah, yeah, it's quite a bit farther away. It's just a satellite, right? Yeah. Mike's asking where am I sitting? No, this is not in my studio. Well, you saw my studio in the video the other day. This I lovingly nicknamed my man cave, but this is just it's my little home theater. It's where I do most of my work. I sit in this recliner. I have a big screen TV there. Uh, and when you get old enough, you need readers. It's nice to not have to wear readers all day. So the TV is big enough and far enough away that it's super clear, and I can work from here. Um, but it's also when I finish working, my ass is still in the same recliner. It's just I change tabs to something else and I watch TV instead. So yeah, it's where I do a lot of my live streams from. Theme Park's asking what's the topic of the podcast tomorrow. It's a rewind that we put together. It's a throwback to the summertime toys and games. Yeah. Um, so Vern, hey Vern, I see you. Who's asking how much preparation or writing do you put into each episode? Well, it's wildly variable depending upon what the video is. Um, so I give you for an example. So like for a Friday plays, I search and read about it like I've never heard of it. Like, what is this game, for example? Uh, can I find any trivia about it? That kind of thing. Read the manual, that sort of stuff. And then in the midst of doing that, I look for a hook that's interesting. Like for uh, uh, what was the one? The Dark Cavern. I wanted to cover it, didn't know what the hook was, but then as I started reading it and realizing how different it was from Night Stalker, the hook was, hey, this is not just a Night Stalker clone. That was the thumbnail, right? So the research really helps me find a hook, is something to hang your story on. Because if you just go, here's a game, it's a game, here's how you play it, bye, I find that very boring. I'm looking for a hook. What's the interesting thing about it that I might not have thought about before? Um, and the biggest preparation is for tier videos because I have to do that 15, 20 times for each video and then played enough to assess it. But then it goes to the spectrum the other way. Like if I'm doing a news item, like we found out today that Atari acquired the ColecoVision library. They wouldn't. That's silly. But let's say I got that. I'm going to read the article, make a couple bullet notes about things I want to talk about, and just go shoot it. So it just depends. Uh, you know, Occasionally it's fully scripted. Usually it's my writing, but and I ad lib like crazy off the chart, but usually it's bullet points. So like, remember to say these, like, oh, this sounds vaguely clever. Make sure you say that kind of thing. So, Hey Andy, good morning. He said, I love the daily stats you provide. Have you ever thought about doing the same for this vlog channel itself? Uh, oh, the vlog channel itself. Oh, I never considered that because growth on this channel is not um, is is not a goal. This channel could sit stagnant for the rest of its life, and I would be perfectly happy. My goal is to attract quality viewers who are interested in what I'm doing and want to go along for the ride with me and maybe learn something along the way and see a regular human dealing with random BS. But I'm not averse to that stuff's not secret. I mean, you know, in fact, I have it open on another tab here since you asked. I can I can poke around and just show you a couple of things. I mean, like for example, the front page of the channel is oh, I guess the stats channel. Actually, you care about. I talk about 13,000 views average per day. Well, I don't even get that a month here on the vlog, right? 7,000 in the last month. But I don't care. I'm not looking for what's the target. We have gained 30 subscribers over the last month, but you can see sometimes it's net in a day down one, net in a day down two. Uh, oh, let me take your comment off so that doesn't cover up all of this. I just realized. Um, yeah, sometimes in a net it's down, but I don't. I really look at those, And this channel got monetized because we got over 1,000 subscribers at some point. But even as you can see, I get $1 a day or something from here. It's a gratuity, really, is what it is. Uh, yeah, and not. Uh, so the growth. I mean, if you looked at the growth over time, 90 days, it's pretty. Let's go to like a growth chart. There's 28 days, then you go to 90 days, and you can see, yeah, it's just, we were 13, 11, and we gained about 50 over the course of the last few months. Yeah, yeah, it's very modest, and that's tickles me just fine. Look at that pleep chart. Look what's weird is that we started getting more. It used to be just all pleeps all the time, and then this purple line became they're encroaching on your territory. This tells me more people are getting exposed to and seeing, though not sticking around because it's not for them, which is fine. But I do like the bleep chart. So anyway, yeah, interesting question, Andy, and maybe I'll show more if people are interested. So Orion says that yesterday was your hurricane coverage day. It was predicted, it was coming, and you think a general wind and wave. Very good point. You knew it was coming sometime today or the next day. Be ready, right? Make sure your phone is on. Yeah, exactly right. Yep. Yep. Crypto says, I know you covered this at the convention, but the My Arcade Atari Countercade, will you be getting a review model? Covered this at the Oh, the Mega Player. I think I'll get one for review. I think so. It's a high dollar item, but I think so. I mean, I think I'm a most favored nation with my arcade, so if anybody gets one for review, I oughta. But I hope to. And for your information, you probably picked up on this, and I think we've kind of covered a little bit in the product things, is that will be almost identical software and loadout as what's on the Go, just bigger as a countercade. Same functionality, same expandability, all that. So, let's see. Hey, Mizuno Boy says, did you have to reach out to My Arcade and Atari as you grew, or they noticed and wanted to get in early and reached out to you? Early, early was all clawing, reaching out, asking, begging. In the last couple of years, we've gotten a little more, um, as we've been growing, we've gotten more. I mean, My Arcade and Atari are bad examples because by the time we got to the size that a couple of years ago, we had established a relationship. But I am starting to see um, more companies are reaching out to us. In fact, I got who reached out to us? Blaze reached out this morning asking if they could use some of our footage and some of their press material, uh, which says not only they're paying attention and they like what we're doing, but they want to integrate it somehow. And it's really flattering, but it's also like, okay, we need to make sure we nurture this relationship so Blaze becomes the next person you can rely on to get early information and that sort of stuff. So But early on, it was 100% all one way, reaching out, begging, begging, begging. And it wasn't even give us something free. It was, can you give us any information? Can you give us some press materials? Can you give us some images? Can um, because you get a lot of. I'm going to dwell on this comment. Is thank you, Mizuno. It's like we might have talked about this a little bit before. In that often get a lot of hate when you can't win. You either disclose upfront, hey, this was given to me free for review. And people go one of two things. They either go, well, therefore you're going to love it because you want, you will either trust me or you don't. I mean, that's bottom line. If you think if someone got a product free, you don't trust them, don't watch anybody larger than 50 subscribers because they're all getting free stuff. But getting free stuff that's part of their advertising because even as a creator my size, I can't buy every little thing that comes on the market. So, uh, the only way you could possibly cover the volume of stuff that we want to cover is to get review units. And so companies know that. So as long as you establish early on that you're fair, and you have done some things that you have purchased, which most of the stuff in the first 5 years, we purchased almost everything ourselves. Um, just prove yourself to be upright, honest person. And I think companies, if you're looking to get review units and stuff like that, they're going to look and see what you have done in the past and go, do I want to be associated with this or not? And if so, then maybe they'll. Yeah. So ran on. I hope that answers your question. I don't know if it did or not. So Arrow says, when it comes to YouTube, what's the most important metric? I know they're connected, but subs bring views, views bring time watched in the end. Um, views views in tandem with I would rather have a 0 subscriber channel. It's not going to happen. 0 subscriber channel that gets tons of views than the other way around. Subscribers don't get you anything. Subscribers get you more potential to be seen. Yes, because people get notified, but then not every subscriber even has notifications on. And if they do, are they going to get notifications? Um, just like where the name Pleep came from, typically the bulk of your viewership is people that aren't subscribed. It's normal. It's the truth, except in a very weird incidents like we have here. So views is the number one. Beyond that, view retention is the number two. So get you in the door. Yes, that's the number one. The longer you watch, that means the more potential revenue you're going to make. Even if you have YouTube Prime or Premium and you don't see ads, the longer you watch, the more credit I get for ads you skipped. So it's how long can you keep someone there watching? So views and time watched is what leads to revenue, which is the most important part of being sustainable. You know. Michael's just asking, are you still getting any companies that want to advertise on your channel? Uh, a few here and there. I mean, you've seen not a lot of new ads. Um, uh, I think if we could start to see, look, it used to be if we begged, borrowed, and stole, maybe we get lucky and get 800 views on a video. Now, we can draw a stick figure and put it online and get 1,000 views. And then sometimes we get 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and occasionally 10. If we could start getting around, you know, 5 to 10 was the normal window, where right now it's between, 2 and 5. That next window, because it's for advertisers, it's all about the numbers game. They want to get in front of as many people as possible, which goes back to the views. If they see a lot of views on your videos, look, if they want to pay, a couple $100 to put an ad in a video, they want a lot of people to see it. And it's a gamble, right? They're saying, well, I'm going to gamble that this guy's video is going to get a lot. If it doesn't, underperform for their ads. So that goes back to Mizuno's question about the stats. I'm sorry, about Arrow's question about the stats. Views are so important. So really, we try to reach out and find those partners when we can. I mean, they're not beating down our door, certainly, at all. Yeah, Marcus is right. One of the man cave here is what led to Marcus's comment that ultimately became this channel. Yep. A tour of my man cave. Well, early videos were all shot in here. So if you see like the wall of pop vinyls or stuff on the shelf behind me, in those old videos with the poor lighting, and that was in here in the man cave. Hey, VGDB, we see you. He's just sending some congratulations. Paul's just asking, how do you come up with editorial ideas? Um, I they literally it just becomes a topic that I'm thinking about, and and often I don't realize it. I'm sure many have passed through my brain and just out the other ear. But I'm thinking about something or something's bugging me. Like, for example, I saw a lot of people saying that game is too expensive, and that led to my valuation and value versus worth thing because I'm like, I think it's frustrating that people say this. Oh, that could be an editorial. If you An editorial means you have something to say, and so what I don't do is like look at a list of current, trending topics and go, can I do editorial in any of those? I really, it comes to me more of like, if it's something that is hits a critical mass in my brain, I'm like, I want to say this about that. And sometimes it's about like people mad at Yars Rising. I did an editorial about Yars Rising and why people are angry that it has weird art style and they're mad at it, so it usually comes out of my own frustration with general attitudes that I see. Yeah. Hey, John. Couldn't let another live stream go by without dropping in. I see ya. Let's see. BC is asking or saying as his question, would love to see cross-platform game comparisons. Yeah, I've done just a couple of those. I think there's potential in that. Um, I'm thinking like before long, I might do Night Stalker, in which case now have prepared to do myself a Night Stalker and um, Dark. Why can't I remember the name of that game? Something Cave. The Night Stalker clone. Yeah, you're yelling at me. I know. Dark Cavern. Gang. Yeah, I did like all the Donkey Kong Juniors and things like that. I'm always have anxiety about doing. Here's every one of these because invariably I miss one or two, and that's all anyone focuses on. So I'm almost afraid to do those. I shouldn't be, I guess, but yeah, comparisons are fun to do. But like a tier video, it's a lot of work because you then have to set up and play all those 7, 8, 10 versions of the game. What I did with Donkey Kong Jr. is I ranked them from best to worst. So that was the hook, or it wasn't enough for me to say compare them. I'm like, let's rank them from best to worst. That was fun to me. So it's the hook that I found. Yeah. Speaking of the next tier, Jeremiah. Do, do, do. Robert says, I didn't realize this was a live stream since I haven't seen today's vlog yet. Let's see. Let me scroll on down here. What software to use for emulation? Yes. I'm not locked into any one thing. It's whatever was working for me. I do a lot of RetroArch. MAME is running regularly. I have shortcuts to Stella. Um, Yeah, all of those. I use Atira for Atari 8-bit stuff, so I use a lot of them. I use a lot of them. Yeah. Um, let's see. So Thanos is asking. So what's a pleep? Um, the You won't find it on Google unless the Google is indexing the vlog. So there was for a time you must have missed a window. There was about 3 weeks, a few months ago, where we made the realization that this purple line here that we've been talking about, this top purple line, in most channels, that purple line is non-subscribed people. But on the vlog, that's subscribed to people. It's upside down. The majority of viewers are subscribers here on the vlog. And I'm like, and I showed a picture of that. I'm like, it was an offhanded thing. It says, this is neat, a stats anomaly. The vlog is mostly subscribers, returning viewers, as you see here. Um, so the they started saying, "Oh, I'm." People started owning that. Like I'm a top line purple person, and it came to like, hey, we could come with a nickname for this, and we had a bracket of voting what name it would be, and we had all these nominations, but it stands for purple line people. It's people on the vlog who are part of the army of returning folks that cause the purple line to be returning people versus the top purple line being um, new people. And so it's really representative of how tight this little vlog community is. We are pleeps. We are the top line purple people. We're kind of um, subverting the expectation for YouTube analytics by being regularly being here every day to watch something, unlike most channels where you occasionally watch, and the bulk of views are from outside. So, Ted says, "I know you can't tell us, but I'm going to ask you anyway. But I'm I'm so excited to hear what Atari Recharge games will be able to play on the My Arcade Game Station Go." Yes, yeah, and you know what I will tell you is it's greater than one. One was seen, Centipede Recharge was seen at CES, and it's already more than one. So it's grown already. Um, yeah, yep. There's Robert straightened out the purple lines. Yep. Do do do. I'm gonna try to be done before noon here. I have a lunch appointment with my daughter, but I'm gonna try to answer every question that I see. Let's see. Hey, Mark popped in. Say congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like we answered the one about emulation. Do do do. Yeah, George was quite puzzled because people were commenting in his bit by bit, saying PLP pleep, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" And we're like, "Well, now we know that George doesn't watch the vlog." So it's it's kind of like Thanos. You'll know this one. It's kind of like when you write a big article on the wiki explaining something, and you do it every day, and you get it all published, and let everybody know it's there. And then 3 weeks later, they go, "Hey, do you have the password for the wiki?" Like, "Oh, I see you haven't been paying attention to all the work that I put in." It's, uh, not saying you're obligated to, but you know that feeling where you're like, "Oh, I'm putting all the information out there," and then you find out later that somebody wasn't even looking at the work that you put into it. Yeah, that was a Garfieldism quite often. And like, yeah, months would go by and he go, "What's the password?" I'm like, "Well, I see you haven't been looking at it." Just gave yourself away. Let's see. Let's see. Orion says, "Hey Cam," he says, "with this milestone, was there a personal achievement you never expected, like working with Atari, meeting?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, that goes all the way back to the embryo of Gen X grown up, which is what would your 12-year-old, what would the 12-year-old John think if he walked into see this collection of stuff, to know that a grown up him would have all these gadgets and toys and um but then it's like, you know, I can call Howard Scott Warshaw if I want to. I don't, but I have it. I have the number. You know what I mean? The guy who wrote Yar's Revenge is in my phone. It's ridiculous. Of course you come to learn, well, they're normal everyday people like us, and they were it was a job they did. I try to equate it to, you know, like if there were my old TV station, there were groupies like, "Man, I used to love watching your newscast back in the day. It changed my life." Well, that's never going to happen. But these guys were just doing work, and then 40 years later, they become, minor celebrities for work that they have forgotten about, and not forgotten about, but off the radar. Um, it's a lot of that is happening really regularly, and it never gets dulled. And I'm talking with Dan Kitchen right now about setting up an interview. We talked forever at MGC. I told you about the story how we sat down and had a meal together, and I'm like, "What is going on right now? Who am I, and why am I sitting here?" And every time that happens, I have to remind myself. I'm like, "I don't belong here. What am I doing here?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute. Nobody else is sitting here. It must be for you." So it's weird. It's very strange, and they're fun, but they're. I don't get starstruck really. I don't care about that kind of stuff. It's just more about it was like when I got the chance to visit Stonehenge. I'm like, that might as well be the moon. I'm never going to be to Stonehenge. That's across the ocean, and I grew up on a dirt road. And then when I got to go, I'm like, what am I doing here? It's crazy. And I have those same feelings um, with reactions of talking with Atari and talking with creators that I respect and admire. So yeah, it's a great question. Michael saying, do you emulate all games from different consoles? Do you have a lot of consoles? I don't have a lot of working consoles. And the majority of the game capture that I do is through emulation because it's ridiculously easier than plugging something in and trying to get a good signal and converting from RF to yeah. I do almost all my stuff coming off of emulation. So, yep. Do, do, do. Yeah, I think so too, Jeremiah. Yeah, Friday. I've never ruled out because I've talked about it one place. I'll never touch it on another console. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Let me scroll on down here. I'm getting caught up. Arrow said you should do a user poll. Okay. And then real results in a top 10 fashion. How do you do that? Because polls are limited to only a few things, and I'd have to poke around to see how to get that done. Marcus has got to go. I see you. Let me see. Let's see. Silver Blue is commenting. He said, "Let's not forget. Well, congratulate John, include Mo and George. Yes, spouses, the family, the friends. Yeah, yep, yep. All you. Nobody is an island. You have that support system. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, Marvin, I see you. Robert popped in with a comment. He says, "I said this on the live stream last night. I just want to say that I appreciate you guys. Well, thank you. Not as much as I appreciate you. So glad I came across GXG channel and also meeting y'all in person. Yeah, yeah. Same, 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 same. Uh, kitchen in the kitchen. Uh, I'll go ahead and most recent comment. Just commenting on my answer, I guess. Thanks for explaining the experience. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, what's funny is the TV anchor thing. Well, you know very well, Cameron. Many people in this chat do that. I used to have regular poker nights and work at a TV station. The people that came over to poker night were the weather guy and the anchor and the sports guy, my friends at the TV station who came to play poker. And I invited my buddy who lived next door. Would you like to join us for poker? He said, sure. And he came over and he played cards with us and we had a great time. And the next day on Monday, a couple days later on Monday, I came out and says, hey, Greg, I hope you enjoyed poker. He's like, why didn't you warn me? I'm like, what do you mean? Why didn't you warn me? It was celebrity poker at your house. Oh, I forgot they were people you knew on TV. They were just my friends. I didn't know to warn you. So if you get desensitized to those folks you worked with. So yep, definitely had that. Retro Randy said, "Do you have a multicade?" Yeah, I do, and there's footage of it on the channel. I responded to somebody's like passing on a question to me. Uh, look for a video on our channel of. I'll find it for you. I'll send you on a wild goose chase. You can see it though. It's not a great video and it's very early, but let's see if I search for the word three. That's not helpful. Your three most treasured something. There it is. Your gaming collection. I see it. I'm gonna grab it and throw you the link right now. Yeah, there you go. Boop. There's my multicade. Yes, I do have one. I built it long, long ago, before I ever launched Gen X. Grown up, it was a thing I made. I actually bought the cabinet and then pimped it out the way I liked it. So there you go. All right. I feel like the questions have subsided, and that's groovy. Look, if you like this, maybe there's something we could do once a month or so. It's a very different kind of live stream for me, and I kind of like it. It's you could probably hear in my voice that I'm lower energy because I don't feel like I'm working to entertain anyone. It's just chatting with friends. So that's nice. That's nice. Let's see. Andy has another question here before we go. Let's see. What do you say, Andy? He says, "Do you ever dream about what an expanded version of the studio?" Yes. Oh God. Yeah. I have daydreamed about that because I see other huge creators who have editors and staff and stuff like that. And that's a double-edged sword. It's like I'm such a control freak. I'm like, I would let someone else edit my stuff, but I'm not. I'm not the best anything. I'm sure if there was a dedicated editor we could pay, it would be much better. I'm sure if there was a dedicated graphics person, it'd be much better. But also, I'm a control freak and I like my hands on stuff. But also, as Cameron can tell you and Thanos can tell you, when I work with people, both and Rick can tell you, when I work with people whom once I once I figure out that I could trust you, you can take the wheel. But I have trouble letting go of the wheel on faith. But once you have trust in those people, all these guys I've worked with, and once you got that level, I'm sure I could get to that point, but I've definitely daydreamed about, oh yeah, What if you got up and went on site and you had a larger studio and you could work on multiple things at once and someone could be writing and doing research for me? I can't tell you how many times I'm editing a video and I go, crap, I need a pickup shot of click and turning on this power button. Hey, Flunky, could you go get me a shot of turn on? No, I get up and I go back in the other room and I set up the camera and I turn the light back on and I go click. Then I save that footage and upload it to the share. And I always think about, wouldn't it be nice to have the kind of luxury to go, hey, go grab me a pickup shot or go do this thumbnail. I daydream about it, but I don't think it's anywhere soon. I'm sure. All right. Have a great day, Cam is saying. Oh, Marvin is here. Has helped me get through premature retirement through 2 kidney cancer ops. Wow. That's that's very humbling. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing that with me. Hey, John, I see you. Doo doo. Mo George, you all have kids. Well, I have a grown daughter. Mo has his own kids and married into kids, and George has his own kids and married into kids. Yeah, yeah. So we all have kids, and they're all grown. None of us have kids. George is the youngest. He is the youngest and started latest. Um, I think his son, his youngest is 22 or 23, maybe, and my daughter's 28. So yeah. Did the families help with the channel? um, my wife does help on social media posting. The other families aren't really involved at all. Yeah, they don't really have an interest, which is fine. Yeah, they're supportive. They're all very supportive, but not really involved. Tom, enjoy the chat. Got to go as well. Yeah, I think. Excuse me. Same thing. Yeah, yeah. After Marvin got me all choked up here, wasn't that kind of stream, Marvin? Happy to hear though. That's nice to hear that you were able to get some help out of the junk that we do. That's nice. So okay, I let's wrap it up. Yeah, maybe we'll do this again in the future. You let me know. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. Just get together and talk. Um, yeah, that's your Ted. My wife's post on there was so nice. Yeah, well, because she has access, so she could do that. That's why she posted that. So it was really cool. Okay, everybody, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go, as I said, have a little lunch with my darling daughter, and then I'm going to get back here, get to work on that video, and it'll come out tomorrow. I would expect a bit by bit coming today, of course, as I said. So, um, my I never ask. I didn't see a question mark with the next tier. You're asking, I'm working on the 81, right, Jeremiah? He said, "What about the tier?" I am working on an 81. I've captured a little footage. There are a couple of games that I don't know well that I've got to dig into. So those couple of weekends I got to spend digging in those games to because I learned in my Activision tier there are some games I didn't know well and I glossed over, just kind of gave them a rating, and I regret that. And I've gone back and addressed those in Friday plays, some of them, because I didn't give them a fair shake. So I'm trying to make sure in tiers now I give everything a fair shake. And I'm catching all kinds of heat for Circus Atari and Night Driver, but my honest take on them, I play them and go, I really don't like this, or I really do. So. Uh, yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you. I won't say next day. Next sometime. Thanks. Bye bye.